That way we have it saved. Hello again. Hi. Hi to everybody who was watching the replay in our portal. Hi, Jen. I am going to wait about a minute, see if anybody else is just a little late hopping on to the call, simply because I know that this is the time anybody on the East Coast with me, people who are coming home from work. Maybe you're just out and about doing some things, but welcome. Welcome to our 7-day journey rooted into self-trust. I am so excited to be here with you and to be a part of your journey over the next 7 days together. Today's call is really just meant to be an introduction. We'll set the container, talk about some of the themes that we're going to be working through together over the next 7 days. We'll dive deep into the first two, and then I have a planned little breath journey that we will go through together. And so just taking about one more minute or so just to kind of hang out and wait. So if you're watching this, feel free to scoot yourself a couple minutes forward. If you're here live, Jen, if you need to go grab some water or anything, maybe just sit tight for about a minute longer. And if anyone does pop in like a little bit late, there is no issues whatsoever. I will absolutely let you in. So just know if you're watching the replay, if you can't make it exactly at the time that's scheduled, that's perfectly fine. You're not going to miss anything. You can always come in a little bit late. I will always let you in to our Zoom room together, or know that these are all being recorded. And so if you haven't yet signed in to your portal, you should have gotten an email when you registered for this free 7-day course that'll give you access to your Rooted portal. In that portal, you have everything that you need. You should have directly gotten access to a little bit of information. So it has this Zoom link. So if you ever lose it, it's there in the portal. Just click on the link. There's also our week calendar, so you can see everything in advance in one localized location. All the times we're meeting, what we're doing. And then also there is a list to some added resources. There's also a connection to our Spotify playlist. If you're liking any of the music that I offer in some of our sessions, it'll be there. And you can use it as inspiration or just to jam out in your everyday life. I love music, and so I love sharing the Spotify playlist that I create. So that is there for you as well. And I just want to introduce myself very quickly to anyone who has never been in my world, never been in my orbit before. I'm Ashley. I am so honored that you decided to join me in this 7-day journey. I am an ERYT 200 yoga instructor. All that simply means is I have a little more experience than my base level of 200 hours. I am also a breath and meditation leader and guide. I love leaning in to somatics, which you're going to learn a little bit about today, and also embodiment. So we are going to be working into somatics and embodiment over the next 7 days together. And a couple things before we begin, some expectations that I have. Hi, Christine. For our containers and the way I like to sort of run my groups. So if this is the first time you're in a group with me, I thrive in co-creation. So what that simply means is I thrive off of your energy. So if you're ever with me in our Zoom room together, one, just always be on mute. That way the audio doesn't get distorted for the recordings and the replay. And then two, I love it if you can have your video on, especially if we're doing breath journeys. That way I can be in your energy. And there's also going to be a ton of space over the next 7 days for you to share your experience. That way, I can be a guide and a support system for you here over the next 7 days. And you can either share, if I invite you to come off mute, you can always share anything in the chat if you're joining me live. And then I just want you to know that if you are watching replays and if there is anything that comes up for you over the next 7 days that you want to chat through, that you can just slide on into my direct messages over on Instagram if you follow me there. That way I can be a resource to you if you're missing anything here. If you have any questions, I want to make myself available to you. Just know that if I don't get back to you right away, I tend to only respond in business hours. So typically for me, that's from about like 8 a.m. So about 5:36 p.m. And that kind of fluctuates depending on if I'm teaching in the yoga studio, then my energy is sort of spent. So just know if I don't get back to you right away that I will get back to you as soon as I can. Hi, Jen. So good to see your face. And so with that being said, I just want to take a moment to just anchor us in to these next 7 days together. So just close the eyes down. Good. And let's find the breath for a minute. Take a deep inhale in through the nose and an open mouth sigh. Let that breath just fall. And so these next 7 days together, it's about trust. It's about building resiliency and perseverance within the self to feel really safe and rooted in your existence as you are in this moment and beyond. And so, as you're just sitting in a moment of stillness, I invite you to just place one hand to your heart, maybe place the other on top. And just notice the way the heart's beating as the breath slows down. Notice the way the heart feels against the palms, how the palms feel against each other. Finding this connection of the breath, of the body, and maybe even of the mind. And what is your heart in this moment? What is it beginning to speak to you? What was the driving force that got you into this 7 day experience? What do you wish to feel at the end of 7 days? Who do you wish to become? Setting that intention here from more of a heartfelt sense of desire than a cognitive one. Why are you here today? Why have you chosen to be here in co-creation with me and yourself for 7 whole days? Good. Take a deep breath in, letting this intention not just be a feeling, but be an anchor point, something that begins to encode and change your DNA, your whole existence. And take an open mouth sigh, let that go. And I really invite you to stay rooted, pun intended, to that intention. Let it be the anchor that takes you, grounds you through these next 7 days. And take your time to slowly blink the eyes open. You can let the palms come back down. Meet me back in the screen when and only when you're ready. Mm, so good. I won't ask you to share that. I really want you to keep that close to your heart. So whatever came up, let that be the driving force for the next 7 days together. And that little check-in is actually what's going to lead us directly into our themes for today and for the next 7 days. So we have 6 themes that we're going to be working through together. Each of these themes we're going to work through in a matter of 2 days. So today and tomorrow will be 2 of the themes. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, there'll be 2 more themes. And then Friday and Saturday, 2 more themes. And then we're going to take a big integration day on Sunday to kind of sink it all in. So those themes are, for today, we're going to be going over amplification and exploration. We did just a little bit of that there with our theme and our intention setting, but we're going to dive really deep into what that is today. And then from there, we're going to move into building safety and trust within ourselves. And then from there, we're leaning into perseverance, security / strength, because I think security and strength kind of go together. So you're getting like a bonus theme. So again, amplification and exploration, and then safety and trust, and then perseverance and security / strength, your bonus little theme. And so over the next 7 days together, we have a combination of live and integration days. What integration simply means is a day for you to really start to create and to build all of this momentum for yourself. It's really what that embodiment piece is, which I'll be talking a little bit more into in a few moments. And so it's the integration of your life's experiences, what you're learning, to create new wisdom for you to share and to express and to create in your life going forward. So again, we have live days and integration days. On those integration days, there are videos that are already in your portal. They have not dripped out to you yet, but they will each and every day. You'll get access to the day that we're in, and you'll have some pre-recorded stuff from myself. There is breath work there. There'll be yoga there. And then also from one of my guests, leaders, Nicole. She is a sound healer. Jen, you know Nicole from our retreat. Christine, you might even know Nicole as well from social. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, you do. So she's fantastic. So she did some pre-recorded sound healing for us. She's also going to be joining us on our very last day together. And so you're going to have a combination of sound healing, yoga, breath work, meditation. And then one of my dear friends is also coming in to do a little bit of Reiki on Saturday. So you have all of these really great new wellness and embodiment tools that you can start to integrate into your every day. And so speaking of embodiment, what does embodiment mean to you? What does embodiment mean to you? Hi, Cassie. So good to have you here, love. Just think about that for a moment. Maybe if you want to drop it in the chat, you can. I feel like that is a very buzz word going around in the wellness space right now. But what does embodiment mean to you, if it means anything at all? And you can just sit on that for a moment. If you want to write anything in the chat, you can. For me, embodiment is really a medicine and a tool that I use to drive myself forward. And embodiment comes from a simple awareness of your thoughts, your emotions, the way in which you may be distracting yourself from seeing the truth, your truth, because we're always receiving information from our environment, from our relationships, from our work, from everything around us. We are always constantly receiving. But the true work and the dedication is feeling into how the body mind, so it's not just the mind, but it's the body mind, it's the whole awareness of your mind and your body and how it's responding to the information that you're receiving. And then it's weaving the external environment, all of those outside forces, with your internal. And so the first piece to really learning this embodiment practice, getting really rooted and trusting into ourselves and our knowing, is to start with that amplification and that exploration. Amplification is just simply awareness and openness, free from distraction to receive that information. Awareness and openness, free from distraction to receive that information. And there are 4 ways in which we can become aware of how your life is being amplified. The first is attraction. So, what are you attracted to? What sends pleasure pulsating through your body? What invites you into expression? What's something that you're passionate about? What brings you joy? I'll take a moment. You can sit on that. If you have a journal, you can write some stuff down. But what are you attracted to? What brings you joy and pleasure? What lights you the fuck up? What gets you so damn excited where you get those really good jitters and those tingles from head to toe? And then on the flip side of attraction, there's triggers. How does your nervous system respond to being triggered? I'll give you an example. So for me, I am triggered when I feel like someone's being very clingy. I had a parent who was very codependent on me for emotional support. And so anytime that I feel like someone is a little too reliant on me for something, I get very triggered. And that trigger brings up a lot of anxiety and a lot of anger. And that can feel a bunch of different ways in my body. That can feel like nervous energy. It can feel like the heart fluttering, not in a good way, in that bad, really anxious, nervous way. It can make my skin crawl. And then it can actually give me like the physical sensation of like angry shaking. And so, what triggers you? What are your triggers? And how does your nervous system respond to being triggered? And now, if you don't know, that's perfectly fine. There is really no right or wrong. And the whole purpose of these next 2 days is to start to really build that awareness, noticing what's amplified. And then the opposite side of that amplification is where we start to explore. And so, again, we have attraction, the things that light you up. So maybe that's music, maybe that's a beautiful sunset or a sunrise. And then the things that trigger you, the thing that give you the things that bring you resistance, that give you the ick, that make you not feel good. So that's 2. Attraction, triggers. Attraction, triggers. The third one is pause. What causes you to pause and breathe life in? For example, I love just laying in the grass on a towel and feeling the sun on my face. There is nothing I love more than just simply lying out in nature. Can even be at the beach listening to the ocean, a rainbow, the stars. Anytime I'm outside walking the dog and the sky is perfectly clear in the evening, I always stop and look at the stars to see if I can find a constellation, whether it's simply the Big or Little Dipper or anything that I recognize. And so, what are you attracted to? What triggers you? How does your nervous system respond? What causes you to pause and breathe life in? And then the 4, how are you being asked to go a little deeper right now into those things? And that's the exploration piece. And so, how does your body respond to these things? How does it respond to the things that you're attracted to? How does your body, your nervous system respond to the trigger? How does your body respond when you're pausing and breathing life in? We'll be spending time today dropping into sensation, emotion, and thought with our breath, starting to dive deeper into what is amplified for you in the moment and to begin to explore that. Now, this work can be somewhat psychedelic, perhaps a little bit exhausting, and it's definitely confronting. But when we receive the confrontation with loving kindness and curiosity, that's when we can navigate life in a more embodied and whole way. And so, as we drop into our breath work together today, I want to invite you to have an open conversation with yourself, open to the exploration of that amplification with self inquiry. And then, if you learn something new today, maybe this now becomes an opportunity for you to try on new ways of being. If whatever is amplified is something that doesn't feel aligned to who you are, what you want, and who you desire to be. Before we begin, is that landing for you all? Is that making sense? You can give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Good. Just making sure that I'm not just like speaking too well and that's landing and it's making sense to you. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we are going to go into a very gentle breath practice today. It is simply equal ratio. That is all we're doing. We're going to be spending a few moments in equal ratio and then a few moments in integration, that pause to get curious, back into equal ratio, back into integration. We're going to flip flop between the two. So you'll breathe, you'll pause, you'll breathe, and you'll pause. The total breath practice today is about 20 minutes long. If you've never done equal ratio breathing, Samavriti pranayama, it's just a counted breath with pauses in between. So it's an inhale. We'll do a count for 4 today. So you'll inhale for 4. You hold your breath at the top for 4. Exhale down to the bottom for 4, and then you hold again. So it's an inhale, hold, exhale, hold. I love to think of the breath drawing a box. We actually also call this box breath. So you can call it either equal ratio box breath, or the Sanskrit word is Samavriti pranayama. And the importance of this equal ratio breath today is not only does it really activate our parasympathetic nervous system. So what it does is it takes us out of a fight, flight, freeze response and into a state of peace and calming. This is going to give you the space to really feel into sensation today. And to feel into what is amplified. But it's also starting to play with this dichotomy of avoid and full of life. So we have these two bottom holds, right? So you're holding at the bottom of the exhale and you're holding at the top of the inhale. These are called retentions. And in those retentions is where you get to meet and experience yourself in a new way. It's where some of that sensation might be amplified. And it's where you get an opportunity to explore the things that are coming up in the body and to really feel into it all. It's also going to build some of that self-trusting and resiliency in the body and the nervous system as well. And so, if you are ready to breathe with me and you aren't already somewhere comfortable, I invite you to get comfortable. Maybe you're seated. That's awesome. I also want to invite you, if a seated shape isn't exactly comfortable for you right now, you can do equal ratio lying down. So if you prefer to do this lying down, you can lie down. Hi, Cassie. Glad you could make it on. Cassie, in case you missed it, which you probably did, we're doing an equal ratio breath from here, just dropping into some breath work together. You can go back and watch the replay. I just did a nice long little conversation about what we're going through. But equal ratio breath is just a box breath. So it's an inhale for 4, hold at the top for 4, exhale for 4, and hold at the bottom for 4. So again, if you're ready, just get yourself comfortable. And then close the eyes down. If you don't want to close the eyes, you can take a soft, gentle gaze. I'm going to cue up the music for us all. And as you get comfy, as you close the eyes, today is about getting to explore ourselves, to see what is amplified in this moment for us, and to get curious with this sensation. Sensation is physical and energetic feeling into the body, somatics. And so as you close the eyes or take a soft, gentle gaze, just slow the breath down here. Really controlling the inhale. And slowing down the exhale. The breath is full and complete. So inhaling from the base of the spine, letting the breath pull up through the low belly, the mid-torso, the chest, even landing at the base of the throat. And the exhale falls in reverse from the heart, the torso, low belly to the spine. And as you breathe, I invite you to just notice how you've arrived today. What's the body physically feeling? Is there tension being stored somewhere? Neck, shoulders? Is there constriction? Is something open? Does it feel free? Noticing whatever comes up first for you. What is alive and present and speaking to you now? And as that sensation, that feeling gets amplified, notice, is there an emotion or something deeper in this moment that is related to that sensation? Or maybe there's nothing at all. Just being with what's alive and in this moment for you. As we begin to move into our breath, Samavriti Pranayama, equal ratio, I just invite you to get really curious with that feeling. What's amplified, alive, and true for you in this moment. And maybe seeing if that energy shifts, if something else comes up. But this is all about an awareness and a curiosity. Curiosity without judgment, without attachment, to simply gain knowledge. Take one more deep breath in. And one more deep breath out. Good. At the bottom of that exhale, begin. Inhale for 4, 3, 2. Hold at the top for 4, 3, 2. Good. Exhale for 4, 3, 2. Hold. Inhale. 4. Hold. Exhale. 4, 3, 2. Hold. Good. Inhale. Hold at the top. Exhale. Hold at the bottom. Take one more round. Inhale for 4. Hold at the top. Exhale for 4. Hold at the bottom. Good, let that go. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, sigh. Letting the breath just take its natural rhythm here. And using this as an opportunity to explore the body. So get out of the mind, come into the body. What is the body feeling? Is there some sensation landing, something alive and amplified for you? Where is it landing in the body? How does it feel? As you find the feeling, get curious behind it. Curious with the feeling, the sensation, maybe even noticing the thoughts that come up as you get deep into the body, and notice if the body's responding as you get curious. Let yourself just explore it all. Good, we'll be moving into our next round of equal ratio. This one's a little bit longer, and then you get a pause. So it's about a 2-minute breath, and then you get a pause for about another 2 minutes. So take a deep breath in, let that exploration go. Open up, sigh, exhale. Good, at the bottom of that exhale, begin. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, holds. 4, 3, 2, exhale. Holds. Inhale. Holds. Good, exhale. Holds. I invite you to explore this breath on your own. So again, it's an equal count of 4, inhaling, holding at the top, exhaling, and holding at the bottom. Can you get curious here as you breathe, noticing those retentions? So you have your inhale, hold, where the lungs are full of life, full of energy. And you have your exhale, hold at the bottom, no air in the lungs, void of life. And just notice how the body responds to both, if there's any response at all. Noticing if maybe the same sensation you had before, is that alive and present as you breathe? Is it drifting away? What is coming up for you with each round of breath as you get lost in the body and out of the mind? We're not here for too much longer, about 30 more seconds. Good work, everyone. Finishing up whatever final round you're on, so making it to that exhale hold. And then letting that go, taking complete breath in through the nose. Open mouth, sigh, let that breath go. This is your opportunity to explore. Treating this pause as a curious journey. Like you're Alice traveling down your own rabbit hole into the wonderland of the self. What is amplified for you? The feeling into the body, the stored emotion. What are you noticing in this pause about yourself? Good. Let that exploration go. Get out of the mind, come back into the body. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, sigh, let it go. This is our final round of equal ratio. This is our longest round together, about 3.5 minutes. Take one more deep breath in. One more open mouth sigh. Good. At the bottom of that exhale, begin. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Good. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. I'm going to let you go here with your own breath, your own count of equal ratio. Maybe stay with 4, maybe take it longer. To get lost in the breath, in the body. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Remember, this is just an opportunity for you to build awareness, self-inquiry, curiosity to what is being amplified in your life right now. No attachment or judgment welcome. You have just about 1 more minute left of breath. 1 more minute, and then you pause to explore and to maybe integrate. Finishing up your last round here. Making it to that final exhale, hold retention. And then letting that go. Take a deep, full inhale in. And an open mouth sigh. Getting out of the body and into the mind to be curious with everything that you felt in these last 13 or so minutes of breath, of getting out of the mind and deeper into the body. How did you experience your breath? How did you experience sensation, feeling, and emotion? Are there any sensation, feeling, and emotion? Getting curious to what's alive, to what's present, to what you're feeling. with permission to just be with it, and in the experience of it all. Giving ourselves the permission to simply exist with the self, with the body-mind. The body-mind, how the body and the mind interact with one another can perhaps be exhausting and maybe confronting, but this is the work, the soul work. To weaving our external environment with our internal. Noticing, excuse me, how we're receiving our information from our environment and feeling into our response. To navigate our life in a more embodied and soul-aligned way. And again, this is just an opportunity for you to have an open conversation of self-inquiry with you and your being in your existence. And to then maybe try something new if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't align. Slowly beginning to let that exploration go, come back to the breath, take a full, complete inhale through the nose, filling up belly, filling up rib cage, filling up chest. And an open mouth sigh to release. Good. 2 more, inhaling fully. Exhaling completely. Good. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And taking your time to be with the message, to be with the receptivity to be with yourself as long as you desire to be. Finding a gentle movement when and only when it feels right. Maybe rolling out the shoulders, maybe dropping an ear from side to side. Maybe there's some seated cats and cows. Maybe you feel like you need to stretch. Just taking a moment to tuck the chin down before meeting me at your screen. First, coming back into your own environment, just blinking the eyes a few times gently to let light peek through the lids. You can meet me back on the screen, or if you have a journal or something handy and there's anything you want to write down, you can. I do want to give you space here. If there is anything that you feel called to share, anything that came up that you desire to be witnessed in, to be held and supported in, you can come off mute. You can drop anything in the chat. And I see you,
Hi.
Ryan. Take your time. Oh, hi, Cassie.
Hi. I was late because I was just getting out of work, so I missed the intro, but um I felt like very calm. I'm like having to transition right now from work to doing my night class, so I found it to be like very calming because I always like leave work a little stressed out because I work with kids. Um and I just felt like deeper in my emotions, like um specifically like feel like a little bit of sadness came up, but in like a relieving kind of way.
What do you, I'm going to ask you to go a little deeper. What was the sadness? Where was it landing anywhere?
My heart, I would say. I've like a lot going on
Mm,
right now, so I think that's why
yeah.
it's like resonating so quickly, but like that's where I felt it the most in that area.
Yeah, for sure. I would just invite you then over the next 2 days to just explore that sadness, right? I think sometimes, I don't think I know, because I know from personal experience that we tend to, especially those emotions, right? The emotions that are harder, the sensations that are harder to sit with, right? We try to just plow on through them. We get ourselves busy. We preoccupy our time so that we can be avoidant in the feeling. But I do want to invite you to just explore. If you notice that sadness come up again, the same sensation, the same feeling, the same thoughts, and just notice maybe what's triggering it. And just begin to explore that a little deeper. And if that comes up for you and you want any additional support in it, I invite you to, you can come into my DMs and I gladly hold and support you in that. But thank you for sharing so openly and vulnerably. I know how hard that can be. And I'm so glad that you popped on, even if you were late and you just got to breathe, because that was all the good, yummy stuff. So you just missed like all of the explanation and all of the nitty gritty. So you can go back and watch that whenever it feels right for you. And Jen, if you feel called to
Absolutely.
share, awesome. Yeah, so glad you came. Jen, if you feel called to share, you can, but I want everyone to know if you're watching the replay and you do join line that there is no um, expectation to share. I just want to give space to anyone who feels called to share and who wants to be witnessed and to be helped. So if you have something and you want to share it with me personally, you can. You don't have to come off mute. You don't have to share anything. But I just want to make sure you all feel whole and complete in every live session we have before popping off. Yeah, awesome. So the soul work I have for you over these next 2 days is to just get curious and explore what's being amplified in your life. Curiosity is the question, right? How are you being asked to go a little bit deeper when those things are being amplified? What's attracting you, right? What pulsates through your body? What sends pleasure and passionate expression for yourself out into the world? How is your nervous system responding to any sort of triggers, right? Where is that sadness coming from? What causes you to pause and to breathe life in? And just being really aware of all of these things and allowing yourself to take the space these next 2 days, so today and tomorrow, and before we meet again on Wednesday, to have that open conversation and self inquiry with the self. Again, no attachment and no judgment. It's simply just an awareness for us to get to know ourselves in this new way and to start to shift how we think, how we feel, and how we're going to act in regards to those amplifications into that exploration, which we'll be doing a little later on in the journey. Does anybody have any questions before we pop off? Does everybody feel whole, complete? Yeah. Awesome. So tomorrow we are not meeting live. It is my birthday, and so I am taking tomorrow in its entirety for myself, getting my hair done, eating all of the food, doing all of the things off of social to live my life. And so tomorrow is what we call an integration day. And so I have some videos up for you already in the portal that will be available tomorrow for you. There's breath work. There is a sound healing from Nicole as well that you can drop into. And maybe it's just doing the work on your own, right? So I put those videos in as a guidance, but I know that for me, that the work really starts to become an embodiment practice when I'm doing it on my own. So maybe you're just sitting and giving yourself space and stillness to pause to see what's alive and amplified for you. Maybe you're taking some rounds of equal ratio breath or just some deep rounds of breath to just find that awareness, to get curious. So, however you feel called to integrate tomorrow, guided videos, self guided exploration, it is entirely up to you. But we will not be together live tomorrow. I'm so sorry. But we will be together live on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, back together again. And we'll move into our next two themes from there, and that is safety and trust. We'll do a little chit chat and we'll do some yoga and some breath work on Wednesday. Yeah, I know Jen loves the yoga. Thank you, Cassie, so much for the birthday wishes. Oh, thank you. All right, everybody. It was such a pleasure. Happy day one. If you're watching the replay, you have any questions, you know where to find me. Otherwise, have such a beautiful night. Bye.
Hi, Ashley. Happy birthday tomorrow.
Thanks, Jen. Thank you. Love you. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.